Hello guys, welcome to the channel H2O, the A to Z of chemistry. So all the students who are preparing for JEE and NEET examination and the students who do not like inorganic chemistry, I have a very good news for you people. Well, we are putting up a playlist called as Inorganic Made Easy, in which we have put up many lectures for you people to make the study very easy. And the topics that we are putting up in these lectures are going to be those topics which are very important for the JEE and NEET examination. Many repeatedly questions being asked from these topics. So all these topics, they are going to be very, very important for you. And because we are making the learning very easy in these lectures, well, trust me, this is going to be very enjoyable for you also. Okay, and next we are putting up one more playlist for you people, and this playlist is quick easy tricks again for inorganic chemistry. Here the lectures, they are going to be of a shorter duration, but again these are all the topics that we are discussing, very important for JEE and NEET examination. And if you want to have these all lectures in Hindi voiceover, well, these are also available on our channel. All the lectures that we are putting up are available in both English voiceover as well as Hindi voiceover. So you can just choose the playlist that you people want to. All right. So what is the topic that we will be discussing today? Well, the topic that we will be discussing today is going to be hydrolysis of acid anhydrides or acidic oxides to oxo acids. How the acidic oxides, they are going to be reacting with water, what are the oxo acids that they will be producing, is what we are going to learn in a very easy trick that you do not have to mug up many reactions. It is going to be very easy, very interesting and enjoyable, and obviously this is going to be a must for JEE and NEET examination, because very importantly questions, they are being asked from this topic. So I hope you are going to enjoy your learning with me. I'm Dr. Ritu Johar, your educator from the channel. So let us begin today's learning. Now what we have to learn is acidic oxides to oxo acids. But first of all, you should have a knowledge. What do we mean by acidic oxides? In fact, we have four types of oxides. First of all, we have basic oxides, then we have acidic oxides, we have amphoteric oxides, and we have neutral oxides. So let us quickly define them so that we have a thorough understanding of what we are learning. So first of all, basic oxide is going to be that oxide which when combined with water, this gives off a base. For example, we have Na2O. So Na2O, this is an basic oxide because this reacts with water to give us NaOH, and all of you know that NaOH, this is a very strong base. Next we have is acidic oxide, which we are to learn today now. So acidic oxide is going to be that oxide which when combined with water gives off an acid, right? That is why we are learning acidic oxide to oxo acid. So an oxide which when combined with water gives off an acid is called as an acidic oxide. For example, SO3 plus water will be giving us H2SO4. Next we have is amphoteric oxide. This is an oxide which exhibits both acidic as well as basic characteristics. For example, we have zinc oxide. So zinc oxide, when we add water to it, what we will be getting is zinc hydroxide. Okay, and zinc hydroxide, if you react this with NaOH, what you will be getting is sodium zincate. Along with that, water is going to be produced, and if you react this with HCl, it will be producing zinc chloride and water. So it is reacting with both base as well as acid. Hence zinc hydroxide, this is an amphoteric hydroxide. And do remember, what is the nature of the hydroxide? That will be the nature of the oxide, or you can say what is the nature of the oxide. It is going to be the same nature or the hydroxide also. So if we have zinc hydroxide to be amphoteric in nature, zinc oxide is also amphoteric in nature. Okay, so please do remember this. And next we have is neutral oxides. So neutral oxide is going to be that oxide which exhibits neither acidic nor basic characteristics. For example, we have carbon monoxide. This does not react with water under ordinary conditions. No reaction will be taking place. And again, carbon monoxide, if you react with NaOH, no reaction taking place. Carbon monoxide with HCl, no reaction taking place. Therefore, we call it as a neutral oxide. So we have an acidic oxide to be that oxide which when combined with water will give off an acid. For example, we have sulfur trioxide and water combining to give us H2SO4. But the next thing that we have learned is that we have an acidic oxide or acid anhydride, and how on hydrolysis this will be giving us an oxoacid. So you should have a clear understanding of what we mean by acid anhydride also. So acid anhydride, this is a compound which is obtained by the elimination of water from an acid. So again, taking up the same example, we have H2SO4, an acid. From that, we are removing water, and what we are getting is sulfur trioxide. So sulfur trioxide, this is an acid anhydride which we have obtained by the removal of water from the acid. So oxide to which when we add water we get acid, or acid minus water, the oxide that we are getting is called as acid anhydride. So essentially these both terms, they are going to mean one and the same thing. Okay, so we have acidic oxide, we have acid anhydride, we are adding water to it and we are getting an acid. What acid we are going to get is what we have to learn. But before that, you have to identify from these four type of oxides that you have just now learned, which are going to be the oxides which are acidic in nature. I have already put up another lecture on how to identify those oxides to be acidic, basic, amphoteric and neutral oxides. So I would request you all to watch that lecture so that you remember this, because again, this is a topic which is very frequently asked in the examination. So what we have done is that we have classified the oxides into yet another way, and the classification is metallic oxides, metalloid oxides and non-metallic oxides. Okay, so what you will be seeing is that in case of the metallic oxides, the oxides in the +5, +6 and +7 oxidation state, they will be acidic in nature. Here I'm going to just focus on the study of acid oxides. If you watch that lecture of mine, how to identify the various types of oxides, well, you will be finding a complete understanding of all the different types of oxides in a very easy way. Okay, so we have +5, +6 and +7 oxidation state metallic oxides to be acidic in nature except V2O5. For example, if I tell you about Mn2O7, so manganese, this is a transition element, this is a metal. In the +7 oxidation state, well, this is going to be a acidic oxide Mn2O7. Next we have is metalloid oxides. They are again all acidic in nature except we have TeO2, As2O3 and Sp2O3 to be amphoteric oxides. The next we have is non-metallic oxides. So we have these to be of two types. One are going to be neutral and the other are going to be acidic. Do remember all the non-metallic oxides, they are acidic in nature except for these three oxides that we have. CO, carbon monoxide, NO is nitric oxide and N2O is nitrous oxide. These are the three oxides that we have to be neutral in nature as far as the non-metals they are concerned. Rest all of them, they are going to be acidic oxides. And once you know which are acidic oxides, you simply have to add water to that to get your oxo acid. So chiefly what we are going to learn today is going to be the action of water on non-metallic oxides. But the trick that I will be giving you is going to be valid for the metallic oxides in +5, +6, +7 oxidation state as well as for the metalloid oxides too. Okay, so acid oxides, they combine with water to form acids, and I'm going to give you some examples. Carbon dioxide plus water, this forms carbonic acid H2CO3. Sulfur dioxide plus water forms sulfurous acid H2SO3. Sulfur trioxide plus water forms H2SO4 sulfuric acid, and N2O5 reacts with water to form HNO3, that is nitric acid. Cl2O7 plus water is going to give us HClO4, that is perchloric acid. And these are very easy to remember also, because here what we have done simply is adding up the number of atoms together. For example, here you have two hydrogen, H2, one carbon, two oxygen plus one is going to be three oxygen, H2CO3. Similarly, you will be finding in sulfur dioxide plus water, two hydrogen, one sulfur and three oxygen, H2SO3. Sulfur trioxide plus water, adding up all the atoms, you will be getting H2SO4. Next, when you're going to add N2O5 plus water, what you will be getting is H2N2O6. Well, this is no oxo acid of nitrogen, but what you have to see over here is that we have taken a common of 2HNO3. So here this is H2N2O6 or 2 moles of nitric acid, HNO3. Okay, so if you have a little bit knowledge of what are the possible oxo acids for any element, well, it is going to be very easy for you. For example, when we have nitric acid, we have HNO3, nitric acid, we have HNO2, it is nitrous acid, and also we have one more which is HNO, or you can write this in a better form as H2N2O2. Okay, so these are the three oxo acids that we have for nitrogen. Otherwise, there is going to be no more of that. Okay, now the next we have is Cl2O7 plus H2O. So again, this will be forming H2Cl2O8. So which means HClO4 two molecules. Okay, so this will be perchloric acid. So these are very easy products to remember. Okay, but let us look at some more examples. All right, now the next example that I have is P2O5. React this with water. What you will be getting is adding up the atoms H2P2O6, or in simpler terms, we can write it as HPO3 twice. Okay, now HPO3, this is an oxo acid of phosphorus, which we call as metaphosphoric acid. If you want to have a complete knowledge of all the oxo acids of phosphorus, I will not be able to give you over here because they are many in number. So I would request you to watch my lecture on the oxo acids of phosphorus in the playlist Inorganic Made Easy, where you will be finding all the names, the formulas for the compounds, the structures, how you can draw them in a very easy way. Okay, so you can watch that lecture. That is one thing. And we have HPO3 to be called as metaphosphoric acid, but well, this exists in a polymeric form, not as a single unit. Okay, so HPO3 does not have an independent existence. At least there have to be 3 units of this when we have a metaphosphoric acid. So what is the product that is formed over here is P2O5, and this reacts with 3 moles of water. What you are going to be getting is 2H3PO4, that is orthophosphoric acid. Okay, so metaphosphoric acid is not formed and orthophosphoric acid is formed. The next we have is H2PO3. When this reacts with water again, what we are going to be getting is orthophosphorus acid and not metaphosphorus acid. Okay, HPO2 is not going to be the product that will be formed. The next we have is N2O4. When this reacts with water, what you are getting is H2N2O5 if you add up the atoms. But I've already given you that we have just 3 acids for nitrogen, HNO3, HNO2 and HNO, which exists in a dimeric form, so we write it as H2N2O2. These are the 2 common ones that we have. Okay, so this means that this is not an oxo acid. So what is going to be the product of hydrolysis of N2O4? Well, the product that we have is HNO2 plus HNO3. N2O4, this is a mixed anhydride. This gives us 2 oxo acids on hydrolysis, nitrous acid as well as nitric acid. We have a simple anhydride when we get only one oxo acid, and when we get 2 oxo acids, we call that anhydride to be a mixed anhydride. Okay, so we have simple anhydrides giving us one oxo acid, mixed anhydrides giving us 2 oxo acids. How are we going to remember? Well, trust me, it is going to be very easy. So the trick essentially comes up first of all to the fact that you have to classify anhydrides into simple and mixed anhydrides, identify which is a simple anhydride, which is a mixed anhydride, because from that you will come to know that what we will be adding water to it, we will be getting one oxo acid or you will be getting two oxo acids. So let us first of all do that. First of all, we have a simple anhydride. So what you have to do over there is you have to just check the group number of the central atom and the oxidation state of the central atom. If both are either even or they are both odd, well, it is going to be a simple anhydride. For example, carbon dioxide. Carbon is a group 14 member, right? And it has an oxidation state of +4 in carbon dioxide. I hope you all know how to find out the oxidation state. So we have +4 for carbon. Oxygen is going to be -2. -2 into 2 is going to be -4. To make it neutral, carbon will be +4. Okay, so +4 -4 will be equal to 0. So we have carbon to be in the +4 oxidation state. Group number is 14. So both the numbers 14 and 4, they are even. So carbon dioxide is going to be a simple anhydride. Next we have is N2O3. So nitrogen is group number 15. The oxidation state will be +3. So both these numbers, they are odd. So N2O3, this is a simple anhydride. We have P2O5, group number is 15. Oxidation state is +5. So again, phosphorus, both the numbers, they are odd. So P2O5 is going to be a simple anhydride. Next we have is mixed. So in case of the mixed anhydride, you will find that the group number of the central atom, if it is even, the oxidation state will be odd. Or if the group number of the central atom is odd, the oxidation state will be even. For example, N2O4. Nitrogen is a group 15 member. Oxidation state in N2O4, nitrogen will be 4. So group number is odd, oxidation state is even. So it is going to be a mixed anhydride. Similarly, NO2, group number 15, oxidation state 4, odd, even. This is a mixed anhydride. Okay. So once you have identified the anhydrides to be simple and mixed, the finding of the oxo acid is going to be the next trick. So finally, we come up to the trick for hydrolysis of anhydrides to oxo acids now. So first of all, we have the mixed anhydride. So here what is going to be remembered is that the oxidation state of the central atom in the anhydride and the oxo acid, this remains the same. So if you have a anhydride and you have the oxo acids as the options, what you have to simply check is the similar oxidation state. For example, carbon dioxide will be having carbon in +4 oxidation state, and in carbonic acid also it will be +4. N2O3 +3. Here also HNO2 is going to be +3. P2O5, phosphorus, and +5. In H3PO4 it will be +5. P2O3 plus water, you will be getting is phosphorus acid +3 oxidation state. So the oxidation state, this remains the same. Okay. Now the next we have is mixed anhydride. So mixed anhydride, you now know that it is going to give us two oxo acids. But what oxo acids? Well, for that you have to see again the oxidation state of the central atom in the anhydride. For example, we have N2O4. So nitrogen will be in the +4 oxidation state over here. So now what you will be getting is two oxo acids. One oxo acid will be having oxidation state less by 1, and the other will be the oxidation with the oxidation state more by 1. So if we have N2O4 +4 oxidation state, -1 is going to be +3 oxidation state, and +1 is going to be +5 oxidation state. And you are going to just write down the oxo acid for +3 oxidation state and the oxo acid with +5 oxidation state. +3 is going to be HNO2 and +5 is going to be HNO3. So from N2O4 hydrolysis, the product that we will be getting is HNO2 and HNO3. So that is what you saw at the start of the lecture, and now you know how you're going to remember it. Okay. So now that you have learned the trick, I hope you will be able to attempt any question. And now I also want to check that whether you have learned that correctly or not. So there are going to be two questions for you people to test yourself. Question number 1. Which of the following oxide is our mixed anhydrides? Cl2O, Cl2O3, Cl2O5, Cl2O7, ClO3. So all of these, they are the oxides of chlorine, and you have to identify which out of these they are going to be mixed anhydrides, which on hydrolysis will be giving us 2 oxo acids. Okay, and if you're going to put the answers in the comment section, I will be really very glad, because with that you will be coming to know whether you have thought the answers correctly, and I will also come to know how much you have gained from this lecture. Okay. Now, the next question is, you have to write down the oxo acid corresponding to the above acid anhydrides. For all the 5 of them, you have to tell me which is going to be the oxo acid that will be formed. And here, just to help you people, this is the list of the oxo acids of chlorine that we have. We have HClO to be hypochlorous acid, HClO2 is going to be chlorous acid, HClO3 is chloric acid, and HClO4 is perchloric acid. How you can remember the names very easily is again what I've already taught in my Inorganic Made Easy playlist, the oxo acids of halogens. So you can watch that also. So that would be all for this lecture. There are going to be more tricks, more concepts, more questions and coming up from us. So please do be with us. And one very important thing, you can put your doubts in the comment section. You can mail them to us at h2chemistry@gmail.com. We will be glad to help you in all your queries. And today you have a homework also. That also please do put up in the comment section. And do subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon. And also do share it with your friends if you're liking. Thank you and have a nice day. God bless you.